Hello, welcome to another edition of Only in Illinois, your weekly video recap from Reboot, Illinois. I'm Madeline Dubeck.
And I'm Matt Dietrich.
And this week we want to tell you about an event we were honored to participate in as part of Chicago Ideas Week at the Cadillac Palace Theater. One night this week we talked to people in the lobby about our organization and our sound-off tool, and then we got to attend a really neat event all about the state of politics in the State of the Union, and took away some really key points from that. You were really fascinated by some of the comments that came up unprompted about redistricting.
This one of the members of the forum was Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel, and during his brief interview with David Gregory, he brought up unprompted the need for redistricting reform. He was speaking about congressional redistricting in reference to the situation in Washington with the government shutdown and the debt ceiling, but the same idea easily applies to Illinois. And Mayor Emanuel's point was, and he acknowledged being a practitioner and beneficiary of the science of redistricting, but his point was that the people who design these districts have gotten so good at it that candidates feel so secure in their districts that they can go out to Washington, for example, and they do not have to, if you're a Republican, you never have to give in to the Democrats one iota, and vice versa. And so you can view political ideological purity as a victory. And that's what we saw in Washington, and that's a lot of what we've seen in Illinois, too.
Right, so it's become a very polarizing process that creates some of this lack of any sort of movement whatsoever that we've seen at the federal government level, but as you said, also in Illinois when it comes to, for example, pension reform, even though we've got Democratic supermajorities in Illinois in the Senate and the House. I really loved listening to Amy Walter, who's the national editor for the Cook Political Report, who's serving a fellowship right now at the University of Chicago's Institute of Politics. And she kind of carried that theme one step further and said, you know, if we want a majority government, we have to have a majority voting. And that's not happening right now nationwide and in Illinois, and in particular in the primaries. You only have maybe 20 to 25% of the registered voters actually voting in primaries, a little bit higher than that in general elections, a little bit higher in presidential years. But we really have to get more people involved and have less polarized, entrenched, gerrymandered districts if we're going to make any progress and find a path to solutions. And so, you know, that's what we're all about at Reboot Illinois as well, so I loved hearing that. But, you know, it also kind of drives home the point that if you're watching this, you're probably already a fan of ours, and we love that and appreciate it, but we'd love it if you would tell some of your friends and family members and neighbors to come check us out as well. Sign up for our email, use the sound-off tool, and take a look at our website every day at rebootillinois.com, because we're about getting more people involved and holding our government and our politicians accountable.
That's exactly true.
That's the whole point. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next edition of Only in Illinois.